We have been getting quite a few posts on using rulers on the Fun with Free Motion Quilting group, and while we wish to stay mainly free motion quilting, we thought we would put together a video to help some members. We are not affiliated with the ruler companies and we don't recommend which ones to use, but I will talk about the ones I have in my collection, which I have to admit is larger than I thought. Also, we will talk about the feet for your machines. You must go to your own machine's company's website and manuals for all information of this type. It is not advisable to buy a generic foot for your domestic machines. They do not always fit, so please buy from the company of your machines. Firstly, I have here the Westerly collection of 6 rulers. They are 3/4 inch thick and only for domestic machines. I do not know if they do 1/4 inch ones, but their site will tell you how to measure and which is the correct fit for your machine. And they look like this, and it will also tell you how to fit it. I also have a collection of Accents in Designs rulers, which I use the most. Again, the website will give you all the information you require and the correct foot and how to fit it. They also do the Clarity foot, which is a good asset. They do not seem to be available in the UK. Please correct me if you know different. I got most of mine from America. You need to set your domestic machine up, preferably with the feed dogs down or covered. It is a different discipline to free motion quilting, but if you can free motion, it helps, in my opinion, to make it easier to transfer the skills to the ruler. I will demonstrate this on the Janome 8900. Now you can see that the Janome has just got its own table and inlay in, and I find it slippy enough, but if I was doing lots and lots, you could put an oven liner. I used to use an oven liner taped to this and put a hole in the middle, and that made it quite slippy as well. It's up to you whether you use the oven liner or the Supreme slider or any other item that will make it slippy and will help you with your quest to use free motion or rulers. So I've come over to the machine and I'm going to use the Clarity foot from Accents in Designs because that is the one I have to hand. The Westerly one, that is another one that fits this machine, and I don't have it to hand at the moment. So the first thing we need to do is drop the feed dogs so that they're away. And we need to take off this foot, the normal sewing foot, and we need to put on the Clarity foot. So once we've got the foot in place, we've dropped our feed dogs, we've got our fabric. Okay, and I put on my favourite thread because you can see it better from where you are, and hopefully we have a good angle. Now this foot does not hop, and what you need to do is make sure the needle sits in the centre of the foot. If this does not, then you need to go to your machine and move the needle over one way or the other. On this Clarity foot, because it was bought for this machine, sits in the middle. But there is an option where I can move it left or right, and that's what you've got to be aware of. This needle needs to sit in the middle of your foot, otherwise it will not give a 1/4 inch clearance all the way around. And I'm going to use the Westerly ruler, the straight one, to start with. Now these are only 3/8 of an inch, and because this is not a hopping foot, it will be fine. In comparison with the 1/4 inch ruler, it is very, very thin. So we will be using this one to start with, although on the Janome I can use both. And I can get this to the back of the foot, to the side of the foot, to the front of the foot, and this side as well. So I'm going to start with the right side, and I'm going to bring up my thread first. So drop your needle in, bring up your thread, and if you can free motion, it should come easier to you. And you take your ruler and you set it against the foot and you hold it down. You need to hold both the fabric and the ruler. and you hold it against the foot. Because it doesn't top, it is quite easy to do, and you should be able to go backwards and forwards. Okay, so that's your first task, is to get a straight line forward and back without much effort. If it doesn't move freely, it is something wrong. You need to raise your foot slightly so that you don't have to move your fabric. It will go to the back of the foot, and again you need to hold the fabric and the ruler, and you bring it across and back and back, so you can see that it will work on that. And this is good practice to do all four sides. We've done that side and we're going to do it this side, because again this ruler will come in, and to show you, I've moved it across a bit so that you can see, and I'm going to take on this ruler, there's little lines and each one is a 1/4 inch. So if you put the first inner line onto this first line and hit it against the foot and bring it again, hold your hand down and this down very firmly, but not so that you can't comfortably sit. Push it forward, stop, bring it back, and we have a 1/2 inch. So it's 1/4 inch from the ruler, 1/4 inch from the foot, and we now know it moves from the back of the foot and down both sides. So we're now going to bring it down slightly, and I'm going to put it to the front of the foot and move it across, stop, and move it back. So now we know this ruler can go all the way around, and you know that you can move your material, you know you can move it in any direction, so it's a pretty good indicator. I'm going to take one of these westerly rulers because they make shapes, to be honest, and you have to open it up. I have some double-sided tape there. You have to open it up. It's got a little, like a little jigsaw piece there. Okay, take that out because you need to put your ruler in there and put it back in. And I actually use a bit of tape to keep it there. And then to use this ruler, you need, because you now know that these rulers will move all around your foot, it is pretty good. But to make a circle, you need just to hold it down. You need to take your hands like this and hold this, and this needs to hold this, and you need to be able to move it around. Okay, so you take it. Don't worry about the size of your stitches. If your stitches are tiny, slow down a bit. Slow your foot down or move your hands faster. That's all it takes. And you can go round that as many times as you like. And to make a more design, you can take it up so that we're taking half of it up, okay? And we can bring it down on the line and bring it around. So you can see I'm using all my hands sort of way to get round here, and I'm going to take it all the way around to this side. Then I'm going to move the ruler over here, and we're going to go round again. Now there is a leaflet that comes with these rulers. Read it carefully. You need to experiment with it. Go on to the YouTube, find out everything you need to know about the designs that the circle will make, and that's all it takes. I can take mine out like that. So that is how that works in that way. And again, I'll do one more. I'll do this one. Again, put it in there, bring your thread up. I use little tweezers to do this. And hold that and then come round. I'll take it from here so you can see it better. And you can move it around. So all you're doing, because this foot doesn't hop, it allows you to draw that shape quite easily. That is the westerly ruler, and that is all you really need to know. I'm going to move this up a bit and show you the same principle with the 1/4 inch thick rulers. Now with these you will find it will actually go to the back, but it's not very good because it sticks. So I tend to use, if I'm using the 1/4 inch on the Janome, which I do use because it will sit against the foot okay, I will only use it on either side or back to front. And again, the same principle stands here. You must use all of your hand to move the fabric, but you must hold the ruler at the same time. There is no other way to do it. Now these do have little feet on, and I do rest my hand against them. These do work in the same way, but I use these 1/4 inch ones more on the Juki, which is a hopping foot, which I'm now going to show you. So I've come over to the Juki, and I've already got my ruler foot on because it does come with the ruler foot, and the needle is in the centre, and it doesn't have any feet dug, so there's no other setting for that. It does already have its Supreme slider, which is slippy. It's an overlay which comes with the table. You buy extra with the table, but it's worth every penny that you pay. I then bring my thread up like on any machine, and I drop my needle down. I cannot use these thin 3/8 on this machine. This is a hopping foot. It will hop on top of this and it will break the machine, and there's no other way to say it. It's an expensive machine, and the last thing I want to do is break it. So we will never use the 3/8 on this machine. I will do the same test as I did with the Janome. I will go up and down. Again, I use these rulers slightly different. I actually use the little hands on the fingers on these stalks, whatever you want to call them, because I find them okay. And I put that against the machine. I need to hold the ruler, I need to hold the fabric on both sides, and of course you've got to hold your threads. So it's quite a discipline, to be honest, but you get used to it. And off it goes, and it works perfectly. And I can use it in that direction, and I can use it across. Okay, you get used to where the foot actually sits. I know when I screw mine in where the screw needs to sit, the 3 little bars there, and I know where it sits. And I can go forwards, backwards, and I don't have a problem. What I do have a problem with is it doesn't sit comfortably at this side where the foot is attached. You just turn your fabric slightly, or you turn it around. You do whatever you have to do to make it work. And these rulers, these are the Accents in Design rulers, and these sit quite firmly. And I do have various shapes for these. I don't have the fancy shapes that the Westerly have, but then I have to say I very rarely use that. If I'm doing ruler work, I'm doing it with these rulers. And I have various ones for these. All in all, ruler work is just another discipline. Free motion is easy, just using both your hands. And it is your hands and the speed you use on your foot and the speed you use on your hands which actually make the stitch. And when it comes to ruler work, it is no different. The only difference is you have to hold the ruler. But I have to say, you do get some nice straight lines when you do. It is nothing magic. It is practice, 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 and learn the new discipline. That's all it is. You just need to go to the relevant companies where you buy a ruler, which will also probably sell you the foot to go with that ruler. And it will also show you how to use them rulers. And from then on, it is just yourself, your discipline, your practice. I hope this helps everybody.